Now this is making me think. In my family, especially, we prefer not going out for dinner. We don't go out for late night movies or anything. And post sundown, basically, we don't prefer going out anywhere unless it's a wedding or anything. Um, so, do you think that girls or women should go out at night? Because every day you get to hear so many things. These ladies who are working late night to support families and all. Na? Do you think it is safe to go out at night?
So imagine that if there were more women out on the streets, how would the streets feel? So imagine if you and your daughter went out instead of staying at home, and I and my non-existing but hypothetical daughter went out and saw you at 1 a.m. or 11 p.m. How would you feel seeing me and another child or another person? Not child. Let's keep the children because it's 1 a.m. But let's say you're walking alone and I'm walking alone, and you see another woman.
Safe.
Yeah. So if we multiply that principle, and so if we multiply that principle and there were just more women outside rather than being told don't go here, don't do this, and being afraid to, it's not just, it's like your right to mobility, it's your right to go out. I mean, a lot of if you're familiar with even Byloiter, even they talk about our right to mobility and our right to public spaces, and it's again very aligned with how blank noise approaches everything. So get out instead of stay home, and in doing that you're not only exploring your own desires, but you're also making another woman feel safe and feel a sense of belonging and ownership.
But going out at night is also a topic. But I've seen that all these unnecessary violence, but you can take anything. It mostly happens at night.
Because
I don't know why, but it's a very that is one incident that really shook me. Was the Nirbhaya case. No, she at night going out for a film, coming back. I mean, it's a good thing that now nobody is talking about it. It is over. But
what is over?
Now nobody is talking about it. No, so that fact that generally that nobody is talking about it now.
About what?
About Nirbhaya and the whole going out at night. People have they are now careful.
You think people are being careful, but aren't you also seeing lots of new initiatives have been formed? Even earlier this year, we saw a group of younger activists get together and they formed a hashtag called "I Will Go Out." Do you remember?
Me too. I know.
Me Too is from more recently, but in January we saw many women across the country. Just as I think in DC there was the Women's March, in India we had a "I Will Go Out." So we're living in a climate where we are seeing a lot of resistance, where we are saying we're asserting our right to public spaces in all spaces, whether it's in the parliament in many countries there is a move there, or whether it's how many women do you see in leadership position in offices, in the workplace. So I think that's what we're seeing in Hollywood right now as well. So there's definitely a shift and a spotlight on this issue right now, and definitely the streets. So "I Will Go Out" hashtag "I Will Go Out" is testament to that. You had women across the country stepping out that night, and because women are now questioning, why can't I?
But coming back to the Nirbhaya thing, it's a very unpleasant event that happened, and because it's an unpleasant event, we should forget about it, and move on.
Was it unpleasant?
Are you talking about the word that I used, unpleasant? It was not a very good memory that we have, seeing every day on TV so many years back, but I still remember that little girl. I think I don't know, it is a very debatable topic, But
Where is the debate here?
as in she went out na at night. Um,
Right. So I think that I'm curious to understand where the debate really lies. Like, she went out at night, and so she deserved to be assaulted and raped and murdered, or
no, it is like well, it could have been avoided. You know, if I mean I don't know. Maybe it is. Yeah, if it would have been in broad daylight, I have my doubts if such an incident would have happened. So I mean, I never actually thought about it, but it is for me. It is a very it's an incident that I would not like to remember.
Well, again, you're bringing in two things. One is that you're saying that there's a debate around that she was out at night, and to that I would say that, one is that women experience assault any given time of the day. It happens at home, it happens outside home, on campuses, at workplaces, it happens online, it happens across time, day, geography, identity. So that's one. Second is that there is no excuse. You may be offended by my choices. You and I may not follow the same lifestyle also. You may disagree, but you have, not you, but any person, but they don't have the right to violate or intrude upon or hurt or harm or kill or murder or gang rape or rape or any of the degrees of what sexual violence is. There's no justification. So whether it's at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. or midnight or 1 p.m., there is no excuse for sexual violence. And we really need to somewhere allow ourselves to believe that and live that principle. And I think that, again, Paramita, one is that you can say that's how society is, and that's how you're happy with these four walls like you've described, but you've also somewhere spoken about wanting to feel appreciated and valued. So I would really urge you to move into creating space for yourself and your desires and your dreams, and move into, and maybe people around you won't like it. Maybe they'll be like, why is she starting to do this now? Maybe you'll face a lot of resistance as you begin to or dare to do what you feel like doing for a change. And when you start doing that, that's when there will be no point of debate even in your mind.
So you are telling me that I can actually go out at night, or maybe alone?
I'm saying you have a right to even question that to begin with, and then I'm not saying that's the normative, but I'm saying we have a right to start questioning that. We have a right to make it a new normal, and then through collective action. So maybe you don't feel comfortable doing it alone, but ask yourself why not, and what if you got 3 of your friends or 4 of your friends to just go out. Start doing this as collective actions. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not like a magic pill that you take and the world changes, but it's coming from a place where you're taking agency in stepping into your power, asking yourself why not, and what if there were hundreds of women on the street, because each of these 100 have been told don't go out, right? So that's definitely what I really feel. And in terms of this being unpleasant, sexual violence is happening every single day, and when we choose to see it and recognize it across varying degrees, that's also step one. I mean, it's easy to forget it, but I don't think, maybe it's living in our collective public memory right now. So I don't know if I don't think anyone's really forgotten it. One is that we're carrying it somewhere in different degrees of our collective memory, but the other is also we're living in times where we're, post 2012, there's so much that has happened. There's so much in terms of conscience has been raised, like it's not seen as a non-issue, and violence in public spaces is not seen as a non-issue. The number of films that have come out, the number of or the subtle shifts that I'm seeing even within advertising and popular culture is all is all holding testament to something that has happened after 2012. So I don't think anyone has really forgotten it, even if we've tucked it away. It's present somewhere. And also, every now and then, every other day, you open the newspaper or you look at articles online, it continues to be present. But it's being called out on for sure.
Bye.